Sitting Bull.
Sitting Bull was born on March in 1831 and died December 15th in 1890. He died the same place he was born, on the Grand River in present-day South Dakota. He was nicknamed Hunkessi, meaning slow, because he never hurried and did everything with care.
At age 10, Sitting Bull killed his first buffalo. At age 14, he fought his first battle against a rival clan. When he was young, he increased the Sioux hunting grounds.
At age 25, he was chosen as a distinguished member of the Silent Eater Society. The Silent Eater Society was mainly concerned with tribal welfare. He was also associated with the Strong Heart Warrior Society.
The events of the 1860s mark a historically debated period of Sitting Bull's life. Sitting Bull led numerous war parties. He led his first warriors during the Dakota War and led an attack on the small party of Americans. During the skirmish, Sitting Bull was shot in the hip but only had minor injuries.
He led them against Fort Berthold, Fort Stevenson, and Fort Bufford from 1865 to 1868. Red Cloud was a leader, and his leadership and attacks were supported by Sitting Bull's attacks on smaller forts and immigrant parties. The government wanted a peaceful settlement to Red Cloud's war and signed a form of the Treaty of Fort Laramie in 1868. In 1871, the Northern Pacific Railway conducted a survey. This was to find a route across the northern plains directly through Hunkpapa lands. Sitting Bull and the Hunkpapa attacked the survey party. Sitting Bull did not agree to the treaty and continued hit-and-run attacks on forts throughout the late 1860s and early 1870s.
The Battle of the Rosebud was one of the largest confrontations waged in the Indian Wars. On June 17th, warriors led by Crazy Horse attacked Crook's force along Rosebud Creek. After 6 hours, the Lakotas and Cheyennes called of the fight. The Braves had fought Crook's men to a standstill, and 10 men were killed and 21 wounded.
Sitting Bull was made Supreme Chief of the whole Sioux Nation. On June 25th, Lieutenant Colonel George Custer and his soldiers rushed the encampment along the Little Bighorn River. They made a stand on the ridge, and over 200 soldiers died. As the battles continued, many of Sitting Bull's followers surrendered. In May of 1877, he led his soldiers across the border into Canada. 4 years later, Sitting Bull came south to surrender. Sitting Bull is best known for his defeat of Colonel George Custer at the Battle of Little Bighorn.
Sitting Bull died on December 15, 1890, outside of his home on the Grand River. Authorities directed a group of Lakota police officers to arrest Sitting Bull. They entered his home and dragged him out of his cabin. A gunfight then followed, and he was shot in the head and killed. He was laid to rest at Fort Yates in North Dakota in 1953. He was moved to Moorebridge, South Dakota, where he still remains today.
Native American history is an effort to gain a month of recognition for the significant contributions the first Americans made to establish the growth of the United States.